Darkseid is a horror point-and-click adventure game that was released in 1992 by Cyberdreams, and it is evil. The game features disturbing imagery, eldritch themes, and even the game's box art holds a dark secret. But none of that is why it's evil. It's evil because it has an in-game clock that will try to fuck with you at every possible turn. You think I'm kidding? In retrospect, I think some of the elements put into the game to make it more challenging weren't fair to the player, said Mike Dawson, the game designer. The biggest problem was that it wouldn't be clear to the player that he could no longer win the game, said Mike Dawson. You see, once you soft lock yourself in Darkseid, there's absolutely no indication that you're fucked until you get very far into the game. You could miss a humble goddamn speck on the floor in the library on day one just to find out that you needed that pixel at the end of the game, but oh, it's too late in the afternoon, the library's closed, please completely restart the entire game. I know some people probably cursed at their computers more than once because of it, said Mike Dawson. Now around these parts, we do like to discuss the deep and compelling narratives of games. Darkseid doesn't really have that, but it is still a really cool game to take a look at. It had a pretty interesting development. The team was quite small with only 3 people that were mostly responsible for it: Mike Dawson, Patrick Ketchum, and John Krause. Darkseid was the very first game that Cyberdreams would ever put out, and they wanted to do it right. They figured that if they could secure a really big, famous, high-profile name to attach to their project, that the prestige of that person would carry their product far. According to CU Amiga magazine, Cyberdreams claimed to have invested over $600,000 into the game, with most of that going directly to this famous person. So what celebrity was it that Cyberdreams was so keen on getting involved? That's right, H.R. Giger, the guy that designed this. Giger is a world-famous artist with a very recognizable and detailed style. His works often depict scary, otherworldly biomechanical creatures and worlds. Also penises. A lot of them. Another fun fact about Giger is that he died falling down the stairs. While no original works from Giger were made specifically for Darkseid 1, Cyberdreams was given permission to use a lot of his library as they saw fit, if it met a high standard that Giger would approve of. Darkseid has a very unique look to it, with a very dull, desaturated, and muted color palette. You see, Giger was quite concerned about how his artwork would appear in the game, reportedly disliking the square and jagged look that most games of that time had. Cyberdreams decided to sacrifice some of the color from the game to ensure that it could be as high of a resolution as possible. Now, some of Giger's artworks have a little bit of a dark history behind them, particularly the art of Darkseid's cover. The painting used for the cover is called Lee 2. The face shown in this image is that of Giger's late girlfriend, Lee Tobler. This particular painting was done of her just a year before she tragically took her own life in Giger's home at only 27 years old. With that in mind, it's pretty interesting that this was the artwork chosen to represent a character in the game as well as be the literal face of Darkseid. Giger's involvement in the game almost guaranteed its success, but with most of the budget going directly to him, the actual game itself was put together with quite little. One of the ways the team saved money was with the game's protagonist. He is played by Mike Dawson, voiced by Mike Dawson, and created by Darkseid's game designer, Mike Dawson. Mike had this to say about the role when interviewed. "I needed to get a concept document out on the game and was working on it until last minute as usual. I had put my name in for the main character as a placeholder, and as an inside joke for the few of us at the company. I fully intended to come up with something else at some point, but when my boss saw it, he liked it and said we had to keep the name. I think this decision was based primarily on money. If I played the part, we wouldn't need to hire and pay a real actor." Similarly, other characters in the game were portrayed by other team members and in one case a girlfriend. Giger was really the only well-known name involved. Well, I mean, Mike Dawson apparently went on to write a whopping 2 episodes of Family Matters in 1998, so yeah, I don't know, this is making the big leagues. Ultimately, despite its flaws, the game was actually pretty well received and did good, so I'm going to force you to listen to me talk about it. This game isn't so much of a narrative as it's an experience, so let me tell you of my journey with Darkseid. Darkseid opens with a beautiful mustached man's forehead ussy being gently spread open. This is why I don't get sponsorships. The man's head is then injected with some seed, dark seed. Look, don't shoot the messenger, all right? I'm just telling you what happens.
That sure was some nightmare. It even left me with a monster headache.
Mike's struggling with a headache after that forehead pregnancy dream, and boy does he let you know.
My head is killing me. My head feels like it's going to explode. These nightmares have given me a mean headache. It seems like I've had this headache since I moved in. Boy, my head hurts.
Okay, I get it, Michael. I'll get you into the shower and feed you a delicious breakfast of Tylenol. The Tylenol helps Mike shut the hell up about his headaches, and now I can actually get him to focus on other things. Apparently, he just bought this house and hasn't really had much of a chance to look around yet. Time to explore. In the spare room, there's an old closet that seems kind of interesting.
There is a bulge in the pocket of the trench coat.
You know I can't resist investigating a bulge. Ah, sweet, we got a library card. Downstairs, the doorbell is ringing and I deeply regret answering it. It seems that the mailman has a package for us that we weren't expecting. What in the Annabelle Anna-hell is that? Oh god, it's gonna kill me in my sleep, isn't it? Welp, I'm going to be ignoring that. These blueprints are perfect for distracting myself from the existential dread of the baby package. Would you look at that? It appears that there are some secret passages. The secret passages are really annoying, but we'll get back to that later. I continued wandering through the mysterious house, and I'd be a goddamn disgrace to the rich and beautiful culture of point-and-click adventure gaming if I didn't pick up everything that wasn't bolted down. Give me those gloves. In the attic is a trunk that I opened with a crowbar, then accidentally clicked in the wrong spot and had to reopen it with the crowbar. Inside is an ominous note from the previous owner of the house. Apparently, he also experienced terrible headaches. The note mentions reality shifting back and forth before his very eyes. Uh-oh. That kind of sounds like the baby package. The paper then goes on about him hiding a mirror in the garage for fear that something could come through it to attack him from the other side. Toward the bottom, the note begins talking about ancients trying to come to our world, but the rest of the page is torn off. Eventually, I ran out of luck finding things to stuff in my pockets inside the house, so it was time to check out the town.
The road seems strangely empty and unoccupied.
Despite Mike seeming kind of suspicious, I found the walk into town to be quite calming and pleasant.
What a quaint general store with a little bit of everything for day-to-day existence.
Oh hell yeah, they got soy sauce in here. We're gonna be okay. In fact, there were lots of delicious goods available, but we have limited funds. And in the end, the alcohol won. Kinda like in Stray Souls.
That's the last bottle of scotch. Boy, Delbert's gonna be mad.
Oh fuck, that better not be Delbert.
Hi, you must be Mike. I'm your neighbor, Delbert. Why don't we get together tomorrow? I'll meet you outside your place at 6. You're a writer, huh? I'm a lawyer by trade. Why don't you take one of my cards?
Well, Delbert really didn't seem that mad, and in fact, he seemed quite pleasant. I wonder what kind of card he gave me. Let's take a look. A literal get-out-of-jail-free card. Oh, I get it. He's a Monopoly enthusiast. Oh, wait, never mind. He's a lawyer. That makes sense, too. I'm gonna head next door to the police station, where I make the worst mistake of my life.
A gun in a holster.
You see that? I just fucked myself. We'll get back to this later. At least I had fun touching the desk a billion times. I guess I'll check out the library and make the second worst mistake I've ever made in my life.
Looking at the fountain makes me very thirsty.
Drink it, Michael, you coward. Oh, mama, there's a hot lady in the library, so naturally I tried to poke her.
That would be very impolite. The sort of thing your former coworker Larry would have tried to do.
I guess I'll show her that library card I found.
This card really should be kept with the book. You'll find that one in aisle C. It's the one with the green cover.
Well, wouldn't you know it, there's a scrap of paper in the book. It tells us that some guy named Tuttle swallowed a key and then had a stroke and died. What an icon. Why do I get the feeling we're gonna need that key? And where would we find it? The cemetery's a good place to start, and you just know there's gonna be weird jokes when you click on the headstones.
Harcourt Fenton Mudd. He was no tribble at all. She's far beyond anyone's reach.
Now, the game does something really interesting here. It warns us time and time again not to disturb the dead.
Don't disturb the dead.
I can't touch that. Have I no respect for the dead?
Which is weird because 5 seconds later, I was required to do this.
Great. Now I have Grandpa Pat all over me.
At least we have the key that note was talking about, I guess. The key unlocks a grandfather clock in the house, which gives us the name John McKeegan. Unfortunately, at this point in time, that name means nothing to me, so I guess I'll just keep looking at shit.
A masterpiece of the macabre. Its eyes follow me relentlessly.
There's a weird mirror in the living room, kind of like the one that Paper mentioned was moved to the garage because horrific eldritch creatures might be coming from it. Huh, there's a note. Mr. Dawson, we moved the mirror from the garage as directed, but noticed that there's a piece cracked off from the corner. We didn't do it. Really? We'll let you know if it turns up. Sincerely, Timothy. God damn it, Timothy! You broke the fucking alien mirror. Ugh, this is upsetting. I'm going to bed. Another nightmare, another morning, another headache, another shower, another mega dose of Tylenol down the hatch. Downstairs, the doorbell is ringing. What kind of horrific package awaits this time? Oh, it looks like the movers found the piece of Michael's demonic alien mirror that they broke. I'll just pop that right back into the mirror. No stupid document warning of monsters coming through it is gonna stop me. I'm not stuck in the house with this mirror. This mirror is stuck in the house with me. Monsters want to come into my house? Nuh-uh. This is the other world. I love a good game that features a hellish dark world that resembles our world in disturbing ways. Here in this other world is where we'll really start to see a showcase of Giger's artwork. Mike might have accidentally popped a couple Xanax instead of Tylenol this morning because he's taking this whole situation very well. He has absolutely no problem navigating around and exploring this horrific alien ship.
This wall of skulls seems to be almost alive.
As I progressed through the game, I came across a teleporter.
I feel like a cold wind just ran through my bones. That machinery hum sets my teeth on edge.
Unfortunately, I got a little stuck here because I was too stupid to realize the puzzle that this room requires to go forward. You see, the alien world is a literal reflection of Mike's house since it's inside of a mirror. If you don't leave the doors of the secret passages open in the house, the doors will be locked shut inside the other world. Now, in my defense, the secret passages aren't ever locked in the house or anything like that. They just shut behind you when you go through them, so it never occurred to me to turn around and just leave them hanging open. Because, you know, aside from pretty much just this door, you can freely go in and out of every other door in the game, so I don't know. Honestly, the other world is kind of a little bit bullshit. There's a lot of convoluted moon logic and an unfathomable amount of ways to softlock yourself here. The other world also really is quite fond of just killing me with absolutely no warning. Damn, I'm sorry that I pulled a lever that obviously needs to be pulled. Silly me, I should have put on gloves that I picked up a long ass time ago first. Also, what the hell is that, and why is there a frame of just his little feet being spawned in first? It's kind of cute, I guess.
All my gut feelings tell me not to go in there. However, nothing ventured.
Come on, game. What could be so bad in there? Whoa, cool. An alien. I'm gonna poke it in the face.
You have dared to touch an ancient. You die.
I could not have possibly foreseen that outcome. Turns out this whole area was for me to pick up a shovel. Why these biomechanical aliens would have a dead-ass normal human earth shovel just laying on the ground is something I can't explain to you. But I mean, fuck it, I'll take what I can get. I headed back to the normal world and thought to myself, where could I use a shovel? Aha! The graveyard, of course. Mike Dawson goes in for round 2 of grave defilement. You see, the grave matches the name that was inside of the grandfather clock, which means it must belong to the previous owner of the house. The grave contains the second half of the note that we read earlier. The note details how the previous owner also used the mirror to travel to the dark world. Upon realizing that the dark world held horrific sleeping ancient aliens, he tried his best to break the mirror to stop them from coming through, but he found it to be unbreakable. However, in the alien world, he did find an item that he was able to at least chip the corner of the mirror away with. He theorizes that perhaps there must be a way to turn this item into a tool that could break the mirror once and for all. Well, damn, I guess Timothy really didn't break it. Once again in the note, there's a strong emphasis that the real world is directly tied with the world inside of the mirror. The author notes that in order to halt the alien's progress, he had to let his car fall apart and hide the keys. He also makes sure to mention that the police station specifically is very strongly mirrored in the other world. From here on out, pretty much everything we do is going to be a puzzle of how we can change things in the real world to affect the other world. Now, in the real world, we really did actually dig up a real grave and, well, the popo don't like that.
You're under arrest, Mr. Dawson. Come with me.
What a cold and uninviting place. I never thought I'd be spending a night in here.
This entire section of the game is a softlock nightmare. This is the part of the game where the evil clock begins its reign of terror. You are allotted about 1 real hour per day in Darkseed to complete puzzles and explore. The game is riddled with events that happen at specific times, and if you're not there on that screen to witness them when they happen, get fucked. I hope you die. Now, in the jail cell, we'll need to hide a few items under the pillow so that they carry over to the other world. Some cash, our gloves, and that's weird. I continued to play the game for a good amount of time and, well, it appears I'm missing an item because I couldn't progress past a certain point. Apparently, there is an item I was missing that needs to be hidden under the pillow. Are you ready for some bullshit? So, to deal with the alien police station that the ripped-off note mentioned, Michael needs a hairpin. Do you know where I find the hairpin? Go on, take a real good look. Do you see a hairpin in this image? It's there. The game never comments on it, never alludes to it, never makes it clear that you need it. It's right here. This speck. Here's where I run into my next problem. I can't get into the library because I took too long to realize that I needed that specific pixel. The library is now closed. I had a bunch of rotated saves, but the clock situation was all fucked up because I was exploring, and it was just easier to completely restart the game at this point to collect my dumbass hairpin. With the hairpin now collected and hidden under the pillow, it's time to get the hell out of this cell. I smacked a cup on the jail cell bars to get the policeman's attention. Hey, would you look at that? If you poke him, it annoys him. You can do this endlessly. What great fun. Now, do you remember when we bought the last bottle of scotch from the store and that guy came in and he was supposed to be pissed off about it, but he gave us a literal get out of jail free card instead? Yeah, this seems like a good time to use that. And just like that, we're free. I guess the alcohol was a better investment than that soy sauce after all. With Mike now freed from the oppressive chains of incarceration, I noticed in the police station lobby that the gun I had picked up earlier is back on the wall, and I can't seem to pick it up. Apparently, there's no way for me to take it back because the police officer is watching over it. This is a soft lock. You're not allowed to touch the gun before getting arrested or it becomes unavailable, and yes, it is a necessary item. I had taken the gun really early on in the game, so, be right back. I guess I'm starting again. Okay, I'm back. I have the hairpin, I have the gun. Now I just have to beat the in-game clock to be around in the backyard when the guy that gave us the get out of jail free card comes by, so I can watch him play with his dog and immediately steal the dog's stick the second he's gone. Now I can use the stick to convince this fucking freak to jump off of a bridge. Now we can finally access the alien jail.
The main lobby of an alien jail. They could use a new decorator.
So that's where my gun went. You're going to rot for a few centuries, human.
Alien graffiti scars the walls. No one who enters here ever leaves alive.
If you touch the gun too early on in the game, the alien just simply shoots and kills you.
I really don't need to take the pillow. I have enough of them at home.
But Michael, this is an alien pillow. You're not looking at the big picture here. I pull my bobby pin and other items out from under the pillow and pick the lock. But nothing happens. My blood ran cold. My fight or flight response was activated. Was I seriously going to have to play the game all over again? Oh no, the game's just trolling. You have to try it twice.
A long corridor leading to freedom.
Oh God, what the hell is that? Oh, please don't kill me.
Greetings, human. I am Starro, prisoner of this dungeon for 9 years. I am prepared to give you the gift of invisibility in exchange for my freedom.
All right, Sargo. I mean, I guess you can have my bobby pin. I mean, I worked really hard for it, but Mike Dawson being imbued with the power of invisibility sounds cool as fuck. Honestly, an invisibility headband is an insane trade for one bobby pin, even if it will only apparently work once.
The sign over the doorway, if you could read it, would tell you this is the Dreketh's Guards Recruitment Center.
Well, thank God the narrator is here to metagame information to me. This sounds like the perfect time to put on the invisibility headband. Oh, excuse me, my little egg-shaped friend. I'm just gonna sneak right past you.
You're in the Great Archive Chamber. Many of the ancient secrets are available here for those who know how to access them.
For those who know how to access it, huh? Well, clicking the secret archive once ought to do.
Greetings, Michael. I've been sending you messages over the radio. The ancients have implanted an alien embryo into your brain. If born, this creature will destroy you and all of mankind. You must find the ancients' power source and destroy it. Also, the police in your world are under the control of the ancients. Avoid them at all costs. Hurry, and good luck.
The mysterious Keeper of Scrolls has given us a card that we'll have to find a use for elsewhere. For now, it's time to head back to the normal world and get some sleep.
Both my headache and these nightmares are getting worse.
Alright everyone, you already know the drill. Shower, Tylenol, persist against the horrors. A morning routine we can all relate to. Today I had to head back to the library to use the card that the computer lady gave me. The card that holds the ancient secrets. The card states that it's an ingenious idea to hide your valuables beneath the flagstone of your home's cellar. Could this be a hint on what to do next? I think I know where to go. That's right, the grocery store. Mama needs more scotch. Oh, and I guess I can head home to check out the cellar too. Upon arriving home, there's yet another delivery. For some reason, someone sent me an axe handle. Thank you, mysterious benefactor. And you could be a mysterious benefactor too if you visit my Ko-fi and send me a little tip. To get to the cellar, I had to go through the kitchen, and the delivery from Mike of this line is very good.
I better not eat anything coming from this kitchen until the cleaning lady has disinfected it.
All I need to do in the cellar is look beneath the flagstone and grab a car key. Then it's back up to the kitchen.
This stove is hissing, and there's a faint smell of gas here. I bet the pilot light is out.
Brother, that's ungood. You might want to call somebody about that sooner than later.
The refrigerator doesn't seem to be running. A strange odor seems to be coming from inside.
You guys, this is huge. We got another stinky fridge in a horror game. Add that to the list. All we really have left to do is attempt to stop the aliens and break the mirror once and for all. Inside of the other world, I go through a bunch of convoluted bullshit to put together a magnificent hammer that could kill God himself. Mike Dawson is now a master blacksmith. My girthy hammer ought to take care of destroying the mirror. But what of fucking up the aliens' plans?
Remember, anything seen in the mirror is not real. Only the mirror itself is real.
This might sound kind of odd, but that hint was pointing me in the direction of pouring scotch into the car in the garage's gas tank and starting it up. If I leave the car on, the alien ship in the other world will also be powered on. From here, it's really just a matter of pushing a button and sending the aliens back to the Lord.
Engage the main engine startup sequence.
Later, losers. And just to make sure the little fellas can't come back, I smash the mirror once and for all. Darkseid has been completed. Or has it? Let's watch the final scene.
I'm not really sure why I'm here, but I just felt drawn to you. I know it sounds strange, but what's even more strange is that I found these pills in my purse. It's a prescription filled in your name for relief of severe headaches.
I'm just beginning to understand.
Yeah, that's really it. That's the ending. The librarian comes over to Mike's house and offers him some prescription medication. For a brief moment, her face flashes that of the Keeper of the Scrolls. All of this implies that perhaps the medication is for Mike's forehead baby, and perhaps he's not as finished with the aliens as he thinks. Lo and behold, there is indeed a Darkseid 2. If this video goes over well, I'll check out that game in the near future too. Darkseid 2 is somehow even weirder and some good old-fashioned bizarre FMV fun. I'm really bad at outros, but thank you for watching. If you enjoyed your time here, check out the links below and maybe some of the other videos on the channel. I regularly talk about horror games and game stories, so if you'd like to see more in the future, stick around.